What up, though, y'all? It's Chris, broadcasting from the D. Myron Gaines, he in the algorithm now, man. He had, he sets up his debate tables. Now, I'm not some big Fresh and Fit fan. Never have been, probably never will be. Myron's kind of went out on his own. He does different debates in various places. I check him out here and there because sometimes they can be very interesting. He's a really good debater, and it wouldn't hurt for me to sharpen up my debate skills. I'm gonna have to look into that because I do enjoy spectating when it comes to a really good debate. I like to participate and not just spectate. Even if that means participating, you got to get cooked a few times in order to really get good at it. You're not going to win all of them. But in this particular instance, there was a guy that comes up. He was a black guy, bald-headed. He seemed like he had on some African coverall cloak type thing. He had a cup in his hand, so I don't know if the guy had been drinking or what. But he jumps up there, gets on the mic, and right out the gate, you can tell his energy is off. He on 10. He being mad aggressive. He wants to know where he gets his game from. Myron tries to answer various different questions, and the guy keeps cutting him off. It's like he asked him a question, but he wants a certain answer from the question that he's asking. But Myron's answering the question that he asked. So it's like he doesn't know what to ask to get the question answered. You get it? He doesn't know what to ask in order to get the answer that he's seeking. So instead, he asks various different leading questions, and when they fail, he gets really frustrated. Very, very interesting. Especially since the guy, he's standing here, he is caping for black women, which is fine. I have no problem defending black women. Black men should defend black women. We shouldn't defend bad behavior, though, and that's anybody of any race. It is up to you to call out the bad behavior of your group. That's why a lot of the ghetto foolishness and whatnot, you'll never hear me defending that stuff. Absolutely not. Hell no. I don't like it. I can't relate to it. I don't want to be around it. So when I be hearing of situations where Carnival Cruise is making certain changes and people don't want to live around black folks and whatnot, I get it, because the very behavior that they complain about, I see, and it's stuff that I don't care for either. Nonetheless, Myron's trying to engage with this guy, and he's trying to be respectful at first. And when it becomes very clear that the guy is making a very bad faith argument, Myron goes to basically cut him down. He lets him know that this is monkey stuff. The guy gets really upset then. And the thing is, I don't really have a problem with the way Myron handled this at all. If you're going to stand up there and debate with him, you know what you're getting into. You know that he has certain views about certain things. He's going to use certain labels. He's going to call you certain names. And if these are things that are triggering to you, perhaps you shouldn't engage him. But I do think if you stand up there and you are respectful, from what I have observed, if you stand up there and are respectful and you make a good argument, you articulate yourself well, very respectfully, he does seem to return that energy. I can honestly say I haven't seen him hit below the belt when it comes to him having a conversation, any sort of dialogue with someone that is being respectful. Because it does seem like he was, for all the people that came up there, he was trying to at least start respectful. How disrespectful it got came down to you. How quickly it became disrespectful also came down to you. Ultimately, this guy, I don't know what this dude was doing, because he called himself caping for black women, but he was disrespecting black women himself. He was saying our women ain't shit, but this and that, and we all came from black pussy. It was like, bro, what? Are you defending black women, or are you insulting black women? Like, what is your angle here? And then he was like, you can't kick me out the way you kick out them black bitches that come on your show. Again, are you trying to defend black women, or are you trying to insult black women? Because if your goal is to cape for them, why are you calling them out of their name? It's just a very strange exchange. Ultimately, he claims that he's going to go up there and throw his drink on Myron. The thing that was the most amusing about this is the guy was angry at Myron, it seemed like, for saying certain things about black women and just black people in general. But then he gets up there and he displays all of the very negative stereotypes that Myron be talking about. You're getting up here, you're angry, you on 10, you're very aggressive, you're talking over a grown-ass man. You'll ask him a question, and before he can finish the first sentence, you're cutting him off with another question. At one point, this guy even asked Myron, was he done? And Myron was like, what do you mean am I done? This is my shit. Well, I'm not trying to disrespect your platform, which you are. If you're talking over the host of the platform, you ask them a question and you don't give them time to answer. You're trying to control the way the conversation goes. When they finally take the appropriate time to answer one question properly, you ask him, are they done? These are really passive-aggressive ways of being disrespectful, and I don't blame Myron for checking them. It's weird, because this is the second time within the last, I don't know, maybe like 6 months, that I found myself agreeing with Myron about something. As I said, I'm not a fan of his. I'm not a fan of Fresh and Fit. But I guess even when it's somebody that you don't necessarily really agree with, I guess, their worldview overall, perhaps as men, you can still find some common ground. I mean, we've seen it happen all the time, I guess, right? We've seen situations happen where enemies find some sort of common ground. Not to say that he's my enemy. I don't know this man for him to be my enemy. It's just that I never would have expected that him of all people, I'd find myself sitting down and listening to him and being like, some of this stuff that he be saying, he be really kicking game. I think the issue is he rubs people the wrong way with his delivery. People say he's racist against black people and whatnot, and I did kind of believe that once upon a time, but now I'm not really thinking that too much anymore, because it does seem like he goes hard at everybody, not just black people. And as he said in this video, by definition, he's African American. He's from Sudan, that's South Africa. So like by the very definition, he's African American. He's over here, a citizen. So very interesting dynamic. But Myron, my opinion is changing on him a little bit. Not quite there yet though, but I think my opinion on him is changing a bit. With the way he handled the one guy that came, who had got married and was kind of pressing him about stuff that he teaches, and the way he handled this guy here that was just being ridiculously just goofballish, over the top goofballish even. The way he handled that pretty calmly. He held frame. He stayed calm. His voice level wasn't fluctuating. I really dug the way he handled that. So yeah, my opinion on Myron is changing a little bit. I'm gonna leave it there though, you guys. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do. Hit me in them comments. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.